Am I the asshole for telling a guy the real reason I wasn't dating him was that he was an extremely picky eater?
No, he probably asked, what's going on, how you feel, checking in, and then you just told him.
Yeah. I mean, there is a way where you could be an asshole telling him this, but.
Yeah, you could definitely say it in a pretentious way, like, you could definitely imagine a way where this comes off extremely snobby.
Yeah, you don't eat pho.
Jesus Christ. See what we did, John? We confused the man. We confused the man. We got to be.
He can only be cultured for so much, all right?
Send the OPP after me. I don't know.
Oh, God. At least you know the definition.
All right. Well, it goes as this. Here's the situation. I, 28 female, met this guy, Jake, 30 male, on a dating app. He seemed like a good match, funny, smart, and we had some common interests. After a couple of weeks of texting, we decided to meet up for dinner. For context, I'm a sous chef, and I come from a culture where food is a huge part of life. Sharing meals and trying new dishes are essential to me, not just because of my job, but because it's part of how I connect with others. Our first date was at a nice Italian restaurant, and that's when I first noticed something was off. Jake spent a ridiculous amount of time asking the waiter about every single dish. When it was finally time to order, he settled on a plain pasta with butter. No sauce, no toppings, just noodles and butter.
My brother used to eat them this way.
Really?
But that was when he was like 6.
I feel like every 6 to 12-year-old loves butter noodle.
Not a 30-year-old.
I don't think I ever did, to be fair. But yeah. As an adult, this is crazy, I think.
I will say, as an adult, if you add garlic to this dish, totally different dish. Like an Asian garlic butter noodle is very simple, very demure, not doing too much.
And I will say, eat what you want. That doesn't matter. But if you're like, if she plans on like in the future sharing dishes and stuff like that, and you're getting plain noodles, I mean, that's a tough.
It could be, have food allergies. There's a chance of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, you care about people with food allergies now, Sean?
Yeah.
Sean, what the fuck is this switch up?
I've never not cared. Peanut allergies specifically, though, I got an issue.
It struck me as odd, but I shrugged it off, thinking maybe he just wasn't feeling adventurous that night. Mm-hmm. Then we went out again, and I suggested sushi. Jake made a face and said he doesn't eat seafood or anything that's quote-unquote uncooked.
I was going to say, bold of you to go from plain pasta to be like, oh, he'll love sushi.
So we ended up at a diner instead. Once again, he interrogated the waiter about every item on the menu before finally ordering a plain cheeseburger with nothing on it. So it's just a burger. Oh no, it just meat, cheese, and bread. This was starting to become a pattern. Over the next few dates, it became clear that Jake was extremely picky, not because of allergies or a medical condition like ARFID, and I looked it up, it's avoidant/restrictive food intake disorder, but simply because he refused to try anything unfamiliar. He avoided sauces, spices, vegetables, basically anything that wasn't super basic. Every meal turned into a challenge, and he even made faces or comments about dishes I enjoyed, which started to feel disrespectful considering my background. Mm-hmm. The breaking point came when I invited Jake to a potluck dinner hosted by one of my colleagues. It was a big event with lots of homemade dishes from various cultures, exactly the kind of thing I love. When we arrived, Jake immediately looked uncomfortable. As we moved through the buffet line, he barely put anything on his plate. He kept making comments like, "This looks weird," or "I don't trust food that has too many ingredients."
God, this guy's
Jake.
White.
Holy shit.
I gotta say.
White.
You're dating a chef.
For real. I was embarrassed, especially since they were my colleagues and friends who had spent a lot of time preparing these dishes. Jake picked at his food and eventually whispered to me that he was going to leave and grab some fries from a fast food place nearby because he couldn't eat this stuff. He left the potluck early, leaving me to make excuses for his absence. That was when I realized this wasn't going to work. Food is such a significant part of my life and my culture, and I need someone who can share that with me. So I decided to end things with Jake. To avoid hurting his feelings, I told him it was because I wasn't ready for a serious relationship right now. But Jake wouldn't let it go. He kept texting and calling. insisting that he deserved to know the real reason. After a week of him pestering me, I finally told him the truth. His extremely picky eating habits were a major issue for me, and I couldn't see a future where food wasn't a constant point of tension. Jake was livid. He accused me of being shallow and said it was ridiculous.
Block the number.
For real.
Why are you breaking up with me? Why are you breaking up with me? Why are you breaking up with me? Tell us the reason. You
you're
fucking
shallow.
piece of shit. It's like, what do you expect?
Why do people ask questions they don't want the answer to? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know?
Truly. Like, only gonna hurt you.
There's no answer. I'm sure there's no answer because she already gave you a reason. She said, "Hey, I'm just not in it for
ready.
You know, I'm not ready for a serious relationship." That is a reason. You know what I mean?
Also, for him not to be able to deduce the reason seems pretty.
You're dating a
baffling.
chef, brother. You're dating a chef, and you can't eat.
You eat like a 6-year-old.
At least
What was the
is,
reason?
which again is fine. That's fine to live that way if that's how you want to live. It's not going to work though.
Yeah.
If that's what she likes to do.
I think you have to be. I mean, before I met Nancy, I didn't eat rice.
Wild.
I didn't eat, vegetables really. A lot of fruits I hadn't tried. So it's just like sushi in general. Raw seafood. Scary to me. So it's just like you have to at least be open-minded, especially when dating a chef.
Yes.
And if you're not willing to be open-minded to something that's obviously a huge part of their life, then it's not going to work out. She invited you to like a personal potluck with all her friends cooking.
You scoffed at it.
And then you said,
complaining the whole
man,
time.
I got to eat French fries. Why come? Obviously, you knew that was what was going to happen.
A potluck, yes.
It's all the, chefs making chef food. So obviously, if you have weird food takes, you need to tell her like, hey, I appreciate it, but you know me, I like fucking buttered noodles at an Italian restaurant. So, and yeah, like Josh said, you just, that's fine. Eat what you want, but you just gotta, read a room, I guess.
Realize that this is not going to be the relationship you're going to want to be in.
Yeah. And don't be so fucking weird. She broke up with you. That's enough. You don't need to pester somebody for
Why'd you break up with? Tell me why.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a...
Anyways, Jake was livid. He accused me of being shallow and said it was ridiculous to end things over something as trivial as food. He told me I was making a big mistake and that I was missing out on a great relationship over something that shouldn't even matter. Now I'm left wondering, was I the asshole for telling him the real reason I didn't want to date him?
No. Also,
I think we spoke most of the reasons.
Yeah.
I feel like if somebody has to say, oh, you're missing out on a blah, blah, blah. Like that should go without saying. I don't think you're missing out on much. I think you would know.
If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. It's like,
I think, I think
your
I'm
best
good.
has been the worst.
Yeah, I think I'm okay. You know what I mean? He pestered you. Obviously, it's crazy to pester somebody for a week and then be like, well, you don't know what you're missing. I'm missing on someone that's obviously very annoying and can't read or take a hint or, just basic human interaction. I do not get it.
Is one thing if he was like bugging you to find out the reason why you told him and he was like, oh, thank you for telling me. And then had an introspection and was like, maybe this is something I need to work on.
Yes.
Or maybe this is something I should realize going forward. I don't want to date someone who wants to explore, foods outside of plain noodles. You know what I mean? Like I can take this information going forward in my dating life and better myself and better who I'm looking for in a partner.
He said, nah.
Fuck you.
Like, bitch, you can't find anyone better than me and my butter noodle eating it. Man.
I draw the line at, I mean, again, maybe it's just my, lack of experience in dating, but like, I feel like a week of pestering somebody for a real reason
that's harassment at this point.
Yeah. Give it up after at most twice.
Yeah.
Twice asking about it. And if she's just
I go 3 times.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I've
3 strikes.
Yeah, that's fair. But a week is
of constant.
Of
Bro,
constant.
what are you doing?
Give it up.
Find someone else.
Yeah.
Because if there was a chance of y'all, getting back together, a week of being annoying is definitely going to ruin that chance. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're never, ever, ever getting back together.
Wow. That was wonderful.
Well, obviously, Reddit deemed not the asshole, and Bowl of Weetabix commented, not the asshole. You're incompatible, and that's okay.
Yep.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, especially her line of work. It seems like her culture too values food a lot, and to me, of course, it's kind of the same as the story goes. Like, where should you rely on how he scoffed at other people's food? It's like, oh, this is gross. I can't eat this.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's kind of disrespectful to other shit. It's like what Sean said, or I don't know who said it, but
give the credit to Sean.
Yeah, let's just give the credit to Sean. But if he wasn't really feeling it, just don't show up.
Yeah.
What are you doing playing all these games for? So yeah, he's definitely the asshole.
Get therapy.